everyone. So the eye is healing up nicely. It's nice to be able to see for a change. Today I've got a SAE T2 Tuner, and I bought this off of Craigslist. It was advertised as powers up, passes no sound, and when I contacted the seller and he provided his address, it looked familiar, and I realized I had bought another tuner from him earlier on, and that was a Luxman. I think it was a T240. And it was advertised as working, and when I got it home I was disappointed to find that it was working flawlessly. And I say disappointed because I like to fix things. But apparently the gentleman I bought it from, Jorge, is one of those rare, honest Craigslist sellers. And this tuner was exactly as advertised. So I'm going to take it apart, see what we can find, and see why it's not passing any audio, even though it's powering up. After spending some time looking at this tuner, I realized that the reason that we don't have any audio coming out at all is because the mute by default is engaged. And if we defeat it, you can hear we have static, but I can't tune in any stations on here. So I went through the front end with the spectrum analyzer, and I'm getting no tuning at all. And that's why I decided to take a look at the tuning voltages going to the varactors, and there isn't any. I have no schematic on this. It's going to be difficult to find out what the problem is, but I took a hint from Mick from Buy It, Fix It, and he uses a thermal camera to look for shorts. And I did find a resistor back here, and I'm going to hook up the thermal camera and show you what I'm talking about. This camera is meant to be plugged into the bottom of the phone, but with the case on, I can't get the camera to seat, so I kind of have to do this. But you can see clearly we got a resistor here that is pretty warm. It's almost 190 degrees, and this thing's only been on for about a minute or two. And that is, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this. Tell you what, I'm going to move the camera. Resistor that shows up by thermal imaging is this one right down here. With the power off, I have like 0.3 ohms to ground here, as well as the varactor diodes. So there's a short pulling this down. And with no schematic, I'm not sure how I'm going to find this, but I think what I'm going to have to do is just pull the entire board out of here, flip it upside down so I can get to the traces, and start looking for anything that's on the line from here that ties all these varactor diodes together. There's one diode here, one down here, one here, and one up here. I think that's all of them, but we have a short because the anodes of all of these read about 0.3 ohms to ground. At first I thought they built the entire thing around the circuit board, but what I discovered is I thought that I could just take the back off easily, but then I initially looked at it and thought it just curved over and became the bottom. So I took all the screws out of the bottom, only to discover that not only did I have to take the screw out of the back, but there were also a few along the bottom here. So the back is detached now. I should be able to slide the circuit board out. They use these types of connectors that are just bare wire, and they go down into here and you clamp them in. Getting them out wasn't too bad. We'll see how getting them back in is, because if any of these get bent, I'll have to make sure they're straightened out before they get seated. You have to push down evenly to get the wires into these clamps, or the terminals that clamp onto the wires. So getting it apart was one thing, getting it back together will probably be another. I'm going to turn this over and see if I can get to the circuit board. I may see if the thermal camera will show the path of the short. I'm not sure how sensitive it is, but anyway, we're going to see what we find here. Finally had to break down and buy service literature for this. When I was coming up and learning about electronics, buying service literature was pretty much your only option. So as opposed to people that grew up in the internet age, I don't have a great aversion to it. I did want to try and do it without, but as it turned out, 10 minutes with the schematic pointed me in the right direction. I was looking at the varactor diodes incorrectly because all the anodes go to tune circuits that go through coils that go to ground. So that's why they all look like there was a short to ground. There was not. And as far as that one resistor is getting hot, it just gets hot. Anyway, what I discovered after getting service literature is that the voltage or the power supply that feeds the varactors had a problem. And I'm going to show you a piece of the schematic here. This is the power supply that feeds the tuning voltage, and R507, a 15K resistor, inexplicably was open. I don't know what happened because the transistors were both good. I pulled them and checked them. I replaced both of them just so I'd have longer leads for voltage checks, but they were both good. The only problem was R507 15K quarter watt resistor completely open. I'm going to see if there's a lot of current going through there because I may wind up replacing that with a higher wattage, maybe a half watt, but that was the whole problem. And now, if we look at the front panel, I'm going to have to move the camera. I'm going to shut this down while I do. So you notice we have signal strength now. And if I tune,
really? Okay.
I start getting stations now. I just want to land on anything and run afoul of copyright. But yeah, that was the whole problem with this thing. One open resistor. So having service literature proves the old adage that a picture is worth 1,000 words or a few hours of mindless poking around. I did run myself up a blind alley because of my inexperience and frankly ignorance about varactor circuits. I know them in theory, I've troubleshot them, but without a schematic, I ran afoul. Anyhow, folks, that's it. That was the whole problem with this. And I'm going to put this back together and call it done. I did check the capacitors that are around that power supply. I pulled one, it was perfect. I didn't put it back in because I'm not going to put a 50-year-old capacitor back in. But this thing looks like it's working fine. I may see if there's any alignment instructions, but I'm going to leave that off the video. In fact, I may not bother aligning this. It's not that valuable of a tuner. But anyway, that's all I have to do with this. That was the whole problem. And as always, I thank everyone for watching. And I like giving back to the community that's given me so much. Thanks a lot, folks.